Hi everyone, my name is Karen Buenrostro, and I'm going to be talking about linguistic baggage. Is it a good thing or a bad thing? I'm using as reference this video that's called Transfer in Language Acquisition by Modi. So I gather some main points and I'm going to be explaining them to you in the next slides. The first point that I want to highlight from the video is that when we learn a new language, we transfer our whole knowledges from L1. We can bring grammar rules, pronunciation habits, and sentence structures from L1 to L2. Besides that, transfer can help when two languages are similar, and that is a positive transfer. But it can also cause errors when the languages are different, and that means that that is a negative transfer. Besides that, we can transfer vocabulary, especially cognates. Cognates can be useful bridges between L1 and L2. We can transfer cultural norms and communication styles, also awareness. Um, when we become aware of this transfer, it can help educators, it can help us teachers and the students to spot the patterns and fix the mistakes. The second point is that depending on your L1, the mistakes you make in your L2 will be different because languages work differently. And if your first language doesn't have the same grammar rules as your second one, it can be very confusing. For example, my boyfriend, his L1 is English and his L2 is Spanish. So sometimes he says things like ya comiste, ya fuiste, ya jugaste, because in English, we add an S to the verb, like she plays, she jumps, she works. So he transferred that knowledge from his L1 into the L2, but he didn't knew that that grammar rule didn't apply to Spanish. So now that he knows, he can fix that, and that's a perfect example of how we can transfer knowledge, and it's not always a positive thing. The example that I just told you about my boyfriend, I think that that's a way of showing how transfer sometimes works. It can be a good way or in a bad way. The effects can be found in phonology, syntax, semantics. Um, and just to conclude, well, transfer is when you use stuff you know from your first language to help with learning a new one. And sometimes it works out and make things easier because you don't have to start from scratch. And interference is when your first language messes things up because you try to use rules or words that don't fit the new language, and that can cause mistakes. And just to conclude with this video, this is the reference that I use for everything that I just explained. It is Transfer in Second Language Acquisition by Mari. Thank you for watching my video, and I'm looking forward to reading your comments.